Right, people, let me just walk you through the start of a laminate room. Most of the time, well, 90% of the time, I will come from the doorway, as you can see here. Sometimes you'll have like a track for your door bar that you can put in, install that first, using half a board, butt that into the doorway up to the track. If it's not up to the track, up to where you need it to go, so it's underneath the door. Connecting a full board off of that to the wall, all the way down to the other end, as you can see here. Once that's all in and straight, and you know you're happy with your lines and where it all is, get your little offcut, obviously point to point, which is your marker board. Keeping a markable square at all times. Obviously it's got to be a nice square edge, so I would recommend just cutting a little quarter off of a full board, then trimming down the tongues on the side. Or you can keep the tongues and use that as your guide to obviously leave your expansion gap however you want to see fit. And then obviously once you've cut it all in, use your packers, I call them spacers, and just make sure it's all spaced nice and tight so that when you're knocking against it, it doesn't go anywhere. Once you've got your first few rows in, because I mean this product's quite stiff at first, but once you've got the first few rows in, it's quite easy to bash against. Other systems are easier to work with, but I've worked with them all, so it's just routine for me. So once you've got your first few rows in and they're solid, obviously just be sure to get your staggers right. There ain't no, right or wrong way of doing it, as in the staggers, as long as they're 12 inches, I would say that's a good baseline, do you know what I mean? But you want like the random effect. So I always go full board, then I'd go half, then I'd go 3/4, then back down to a small, and then I'd repeat that process as a full board, and that continuously throughout the room. It doesn't matter if you've got to change the odd board, as long as it don't line up with the 2 rows next to it, it doesn't really matter too much, but obviously try and stick to the patterns as much as possible. Now on this job, customer opted to have beading because she didn't want to take her skirtings off, which is fine by us. I get a lot of people on here, oh, it's wrong, you're doing it wrong. There ain't no wrong or right way, it's just every house requires a certain detail. If you want to take skirtings off and you don't want beading, then that's up to you. But if you're not too bothered because it's in a bedroom, and by the time you get all your furniture in there, you're not really going to see too much of it. But if anyone's on here saying it's wrong, it's not wrong. Otherwise they wouldn't make beading, would they? So I hope someone gets use out of this video. If you have, then it served its purpose. Remember to like and follow and help grow the channel. I appreciate all the loyalty. And if there's anything that you need, advice, just DM me and I'll leave you with this. Wallop!